So, you think Europe is leading the global transition? Well, it is, but not where you might expect. The data from the AWTY Index 2024 data shows something shocking. You have countries like Denmark, Ireland, Luxembourg years ahead, and then you have countries that actually lag behind Russia in the green transition. Russia. Well, that gap has real consequences. And for this podcast, the most interesting consequences are the gap for research, innovation, and funding. So, in this episode, I'll show how the EU and its member states are evolving across all five major transitions: the green, the digital, the new globalization, the war economy, and the housing, and what this means for EU funded projects. Then I have a very interesting conversation with Ioannis Nikolaidis in Athens, Greece, who has helped design many projects from Erasmus Plus to Horizon Europe. And as he says, the impact of these projects is substantial. You can see the change taking place. So listen to his experience in reskilling EU's workforce. That's actually how transitions become successful. Finally, in this episode, we'll break down an open call that could fund your next proposal, a SERV call for diversity management. So stay tuned, and if you want early access to my upcoming book, Transition Science in the Economy, you can pre-register now with the link in the notes. Hope you enjoyed the episode. See you. So, how is the EU doing in all five major transitions? That's exactly what the new AWTY 2024 Global Transitions Index reveals. And the numbers are interesting. Across all five transitions, so green, digital, new globalization, war economy, and housing, Europe leads globally, but unevenly. What I mean, Northern Europe is almost at the frontier. Central and Southern Europe, well, not so much, especially in digital innovation capacity and housing affordability. And then when you compare the EU with the UK, Norway, Switzerland, Russia, the differences give us some clues where future EU funding may flow. Because nowadays transitions are not only political goals, they are becoming actually funding priorities. So every research and innovation project in Europe is now expected to contribute to at least one of these transitions. But in fact, the real winners will be those projects that are able to connect two or more. For instance, using AI and data to accelerate green transition, or linking urban housing innovation with digital twins and climate resilience. That kind of crossing. So that's where the New Horizon proposal will stand out at the intersection of these transitions. Some key insights from the data, the 150,000 data points used in this index show that the EU is strongest on green and digital, but weakest on housing and defense transitions. The war economy transition is on the rise, actually not because Europe wants it, but because it is under attack. So that shift will redirect research budgets, and they will move towards dual use innovation, resilience technologies, strategic autonomy. Why does this matter for EU projects, for your next proposals? Well, if your project tackles energy, climate, data, or security, you are already a part of these five transitions. The question is, how far along is your country, and how can your project move it closer on the AWTY scale? That's exactly the kind of insight that the upcoming book that I'm publishing will link data to funding strategy. So I'll explore these results in depth in the new book that will be out next month. You can pre-register today. The links in the description. So let's just make decisions based on data, not on guesses, because in this age of transitions, data is the only reliable compass. So, welcome back to InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles. Thank you for being here. I want to welcome Yanis from South Star, who's joining us from Athens, Greece. Welcome, Yanis. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
And
very much.
will you tell us, please, a little bit about yourself and your institution?
Yeah, so actually, I'm a political economist. I've studied political science and development studies in Greece and in the UK, and I've been working with EU projects the last 5 years. So about the organization I'm working for right now, it's called Southstar. It's a company based in Athens, Greece. It was founded in 2014 with the aim of designing and implementing innovative integrated waste management systems. So the projects we are working on are focused basically on circular economy. And we are working with EU funded projects since the beginning of the operations of the company.
So let me interrupt you. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get started? How did the first project come to be?
Yeah, actually, it was some friends of mine who were starting a company. I met them during my postgraduate studies. Yeah, so they set up a company called Partners for Skills Developments. And they asked me if I wanted to participate in EU projects, particularly to draft some proposals for Erasmus Plus projects. Yeah, so I drafted a proposal. My first uh, involvement, let's say, with the project was drafting. I drafted the proposal of a project called Power Up, which is an Erasmus Plus project, and was focused on supporting former fossil fuel power station workers to re-enter the labor market. So we developed a training program for reskilling and also a local job hunting platform in order to support them to find a new job.
And
So
that was 5 years ago.
that was 5 years ago, yeah. And this is my first contact with EU projects in terms of proposal writing. In terms of implementation, I was working for another company at the moment called Eurotraining. And the first project I was involved with was My ID. It's called My Identity. And the aim was to support a comprehensive approach and specific educational actions to address discrimination and inequality in schools in terms of gender identity, sexual orientation, gender expression. That was the first project I had experience of the implementation phase.
So you first started implementing projects. That was your first contact, and then you started writing proposals. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
And you've been working different. You said five different projects, right?
No, it's 5 years now I'm
Ah,
working with the
sorry.
projects. I've drafted like I don't know, something like 7, 8 proposals, and I've implemented 5 or 6 projects.
And can you give us your preference? What was the project that really you liked the most?
I think it was the Evergreen project. Evergreen was an Erasmus Plus project, um, and the aim of the project was to introduce innovative practices that will prepare vocational education and training communities, including leaders, staff, and students, to initiate the process of creating greener workplaces and enable behavioral changes, both at professional and personal level. Throughout the project, the participant organizations develop some individual greening plans for their educational institutions using project materials and documents. And so it was really satisfying to see organizations adopting green practices and change their organizational culture towards greener initiatives.
So you could see results from that project.
Yeah, exactly. It was a project that it has like tangible impact. Yeah, so it was really nice to see that all the participants adopted greening plans and they worked on that direction.
And that was a 2-year project?
That was a 2 years project, yeah.
So you've been working exclusively with the Erasmus Plus projects, or do you have had other experiences?
In terms of implementation, I've only worked with the Erasmus Plus projects, but I have drafted proposals also for Horizon Europe, for LIFE EU
Mm.
program. So
Mm.
yeah, I have a more variety when it comes to proposal writing.
And you work essentially, if I understand correctly, essentially in this reskilling effort of the European workforce in this, what, the green transition? How
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
find your
exactly.
areas of activity?
It depends. It depends on actually we have the brainstorming, we see the news and we see what project we can develop. So it depends, but we mainly focus, yeah, on green transition, digital transformation, and generally reskilling of the workforce in that direction, what we call the twin transition.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that leads me to the next question. What about the future? What are your plans? What do you want to do in the future?
In the future, I hope that I will participate in more projects. I would like to maybe to be involved more in research projects, despite the fact that in research projects are very competitive. Horizon Europe, for example, is very competitive
Yes. Mhm.
scheme. But yeah, I would like to work more on the proposals and implementation phase and develop even more my skills on these aspects. So yeah,
Let me know a little more about your organization. How many are you?
we are around 20 people working at Southstar,
All based in Athens, right?
all based in Athens. Yeah,
So what kind of partnerships have you been building with what kind of institutions?
yeah, it's mainly universities and local authorities,
Okay.
municipalities, regions, etc.
Hmm. Okay, so you've built a network in that area. So is that your goal for the future to develop that network and create more proposals?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are doing. That's what we are working on. We drafted the proposal we finished the proposal like 2 weeks ago. It was about household composter, and we had partnered some main municipalities from Greece. So we want to develop that network in order to be able to apply our ideas in more practical terms.
Can we put your contacts in the show notes, in the episode notes, so that the people who want to join that network can get in touch with you?
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay, great. So we'll do
I'm
that.
gonna send you everything.
Well, one more question. What do you like the best in a project? What's your favorite phase? Writing, drafting the proposal, implementing it, reporting. What's your favorite phase? When it ends?
Yeah, I think I prefer implementation because I like all the coordination aspect, speaking with the partners, etc. The participation in project activities, etc. But at the moment, my main job is to draft proposals, so my main job is writing.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it's a bit hard. Yeah, I like writing as well, but I think implementation is my favorite part.
I still have one more question. As you know, this programming period is coming to an end. There will be a new one starting, I believe, in 2028 or 27. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Would you like to see some changes in the mechanics and the rules of these EU funded projects you've been working on, like Erasmus, but also the others you applied to? Do you have any suggestions for the Commission to change the how this works?
Any suggestion? Not any specific suggestions, but I think that the financing should be there. Uh, we must make sure that additional financing will be directed in R&D projects, so that more proposals are implemented and more positive impact will be achieved. And this is actually more of a political question, political answer to be made. Yeah, but I believe it's very important since the impact of the project is substantial and should be supported more in the future.
I believe Draghi agrees with you. You know, the Draghi report, when he said that we have an innovation gap, we need to invest more
Yeah,
in
exactly.
research. So I believe he will be completely in agreement with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I second your opinion. Yeah, we need to put the money where we put our words. Um, any final message you want to use to close the interview?
Any final message? I think this is a really nice area of working, EU project. I hope even more people will participate in EU projects and more projects will be implemented in the future.
That's a good message, but it makes me ask you one further question. Why do you like this? What's so nice about it? Is it because of the international aspect of it, that you collaborate with people from other countries? Is it because you get to do things that you wouldn't have the funding to do if you were restricted to our own country? What is it? What do you like about these EU-funded projects?
Yeah, of course, I like very much the fact that it's very international. So the coordination and the cooperation with people from different countries is something that is really interesting. But I believe that the impact of the project is substantial as well. So this is something really nice to see, to have an idea and see it actually be implemented
Hmm.
and have the impact and the change that you wanna see to see it being realized. This is really interesting, and this really makes you feel happy as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I think that's a great point to end to close the interview, because I really think you mentioned a very important point. Well,
Okay.
Yanis, thank you very much for this interview. Thank you for being here, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Fernando. Hope to see you soon. Thank you very much again.
Want EU funding to make workplaces fairer and scale it across Europe? This call pays up to 90% of costs and expects projects between 150K and 750K. Let's make your proposal fundable. CRV 2025 Equal supports actions that fight discrimination and promote equality. Under Priority 4, Diversity Management, the goal is to promote diversity and inclusion at the workplace in both public and private sectors, with tangible frameworks, training, and measurable change. The total call budget is $20 million. For Priority 4, requested grants are typically $150,000 or $750,000, with project duration 12 to 36 months. Grants are lump sum with a 90% funding rate. Plan your budget and activities accordingly. Applicants must be legal entities, public or private, established in EU member states, includes OCTs, or eligible associated countries under CERV. International organizations are eligible. Natural persons, except sole traders where applicable, are not eligible. Register in the participant register before submission. You need at least 2 applicants, a coordinator, plus one partner. Projects can be national or transnational. For Priority 4, the coordinator may be profit or non-profit, but profit organizations must apply alongside public entities or private non-profits. Consortia of only a coordinator plus affiliated entities or only associated partners are ineligible. You must add a real partner. Think concrete change. Stronger organizational diversity frameworks, better data and recording on discrimination, and improved implementation of comprehensive action plans across sectors. Your proposal should map to these outcomes with KPIs. Call opens 15 July 2025. Deadline 23 October 2025, 17 R CET, Brussels time. Evaluation runs OCT 2025 MAR 2026. Results around MAR April 2026. Grant agreements April June 2026. Plan your internal reviews backward from the deadline. Submit electronically via the Funding and Tenders portal. Use the online Part A, Admin Budget, and Part B, Technical Max 45 Pages templates, plus required annexes and KPI tool. No paper submissions. Anchor to workplace impact. Show how your actions change HR practice, hiring, retention, promotion, and pay equity, with baseline and target metrics. Impact KPIs align with award criteria. Design lean WPs. Keep coordination under 10% of total cost. Use quantifiable milestones, deliverables. De-risk with evidence. Cite prior EU-funded results and complementarity. Avoid duplication. Budget smart for 90%, lump sum. Build a realistic plan that can be delivered at the fixed amount. Align tasks and outputs tightly to costs. Check compliance quickly. Eligible countries, legal status, sanctions, and registration in the participant register. Tick these early to avoid last-minute rejection. If you're ready to scale real workplace inclusion with a fundable plan, this call is your moment. For more details, visit the Funding and Tenders portal.
Credits, author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.